Hello everybody, welcome back to another video from the fish room. Today we've got a lot of stuff to take care of. We got fish to move. Mainly we're going to be moving a bunch of plecos. Today we're going to be doing a lot of work in the fry tank. We got 3 batches of fish to pull out of there and get them into the fish room so that they can grow out. And I've also got another 3 groups of fry that need to go into that tank. So we're going to clean out those 3 boxes, get them nice and clean for the new fry to go into them. So these are our 4 fry trays. As you can see, there's lots of life in them. Starting here, this one is our albino bristlenose plecos. So they're going to come out of there today, as are, these are our standards and lemons. You can see all the different colors down in there. And this one over here has our super reds. So I'm going to take all of them out of there and get them in their proper grow out tanks so that we can make room for the next batch. Alright, this one here has our panda cories in it. I don't know if you can see them. There we go, right there. We're going to leave them tray, so I'm just going to scoot this one over. And we're going to start with this one. Just by taking out all the leaves and the sticks. Yeah, lots of snails. Well, they help keep it clean, I guess. Well, not clean. We got some jumpers. Alright. So that just leaves us with our plecos and snails. So what we're going to do is take this over to the sink and pour it into a net. And then we'll get them into a grow out.
I was looking at our analytics, and apparently 85% of you watching this aren't subscribed. So, like, just subscribe. No biggie. I appreciate it. If not, just keep watching. It's fine.
So I can dump out some of the water. It just goes over into the screen and out back into the tank. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the filter. And before we get going again, I'm going to have to clean that. Alright, so let's get this over to the sink here. Alright, we've got our net over a bucket in case anybody jumps out. And let's go this way. Come on, guys. Just check that. I think it's all snails left. Yep, it's all snails. So let's get all these into the tank. This tank here has recently been emptied out of all the plecos. So it's just going to be guppies and all of our new albino bristlenose. And a bunch of snails. Alright, now we just got to clean out this bucket here for our next batch. So I don't know if any of you out there are like me, but I've got a nice handy snail bucket right up top here. This is just where I dump all my snails. Alright, we're relatively snail free, so what I like to do is go back through. You can see there's these little jelly pockets. Those are snail eggs. So I just give it a good scrubbing down to make sure that we can start with as minimum amount of snails as possible, just to get it started. Throw this back in, get some water in it. But before we can add our next group of fry, I need to clean that sponge filter out. Get a good fresh start from the very beginning. Yeah, a good fresh start from the start, right? This here is the Aquarium Co-op sponge filter. And for this use, I have really been digging it. Because with this coarse sponge, it collects all of this debris, which you'll see here in a second when I wash it out, but I still get really good water flow through it. So even if it's super cruddy, I don't really have to worry about, you know, the fry up top not getting air or water, because it would get too clogged with something a lot finer. So let's check it out, see how dirty it is.
If you've made it this far into the video, why don't you click subscribe so you can see more just like this at some other time. Yeah, why not?
What I like to do with this uplift tube, I take off this air collar, and every time I do a water change, so I just take my little cup, get some hot water, set that off to the side, and I've got my little syringe with some air line on it. I just soak up some hot water, connect it to the air collar, and then just force it through, clean out any of those holes that might get clogged. So I do that every time I clean the filter, and I really haven't had any get clogged up that I do that with. I've got one upstairs that's a pain in the butt, but I don't clean it, so that makes sense. So that's ready to go back in, and we're good to go. Alright, we're back at the tank. Gotta find my air line. There we go. Air line just pops back on, clip it in. I'll just turn my pumps on. And there we go. Now with my little fry trays, I really do like having a lot of botanicals in there. I have noticed that it helps a lot with our fry survival to have them something in the tank, to always have them something available to be munching on. As you can tell right here, I've got a tray. And this one is actually our new batch of albinos. You see them down at the bottom there. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump this in along with their leaves, and this tray will be set to go. Get out of here, snails. Alright, the albinos are in, but I'm actually going to go ahead and go up to our jar here. This is where I keep all my oak leaves soaking. I'm going to grab a couple more of these leaves and get them into that tray for the fry, so they'll be set up as best as I can. These are just oak leaves I've collected from the yard. I throw in a couple fistfuls of leaves and just soak them until I'm ready to use them. So I just got these two trays left here to do, the lemons and standards and the super reds. There we go. You can see them all in there. Yeah, and that's the fun part, is I got lemons and standards, and they go in separate tanks back in the fish room. So I'm actually going to get them in the net and then into our catch cup here, so I can get them separated. This is the fun part, since we got lemons and standards in the same tray. I gotta try to catch them out and separate them. Alright, we got them. That took entirely too long. Let's see how many we got here. If anybody wants to count, pause and go for it. I'd say there's a bunch, I don't know how many. But since we got that cleared out, go ahead and add in our next group of fry, which is going to be over here in this tank. So recently I've started adding in a bunch of these large standards, and the male quickly took up residence in the cave, and he is in there fanning his fry, and I've checked them out. They're of good size, and I'm going to go ahead and pull them out right now. So he's in there. Let's see how many he's got in there with him. They are not all standard. Alright, I think I got them all cleared out. Let's see what we got here. Those are standards, of course. That one there is going to be a lemon blue eye. And the ones where you can't see their eye spots are albino.
I like fish. You like fish. Click subscribe.
All of these standards in here, they actually come from our first group of breeding plecos. Move, Goldie. Our first group of plecos was a lemon blue eye female and an albino male. And all of the fry that they gave us were the standard color. So now that they are breeding out, they are throwing a lot of different colors, and it seems like this batch here has the standard brown, it has albino, and it also looks like it has the lemon blue eyes. So that'll be fun collecting them all out when they're ready. Hey guys. Alright, and for this group of plecos here, I'm just going to add in some of our oak leaves. I'll give them some cover and also something to munch on. Alright, our last group moving out is going to be our super reds. I'm just going to go ahead and get those leaves out, and then we can get them all transferred. What we got so far. And then I'm going to release them actually back into the bottom of the fry tank. I've been really wanting them to grow up as fast as they can. And to do that, the heat in the fry tank stays right around 82. I don't want to dump all the snails out. Come on, Plecos. Screw it. Right, that one is all clean, ready to go. I've got the oak leaves in it. But those were the last few oak leaves that I had in my jar, so I'm going to get a new jar of leaves all set up. It's not glamorous, is it? This is my collection of leaves. So whenever I need a new jar full, I just come in and snap off a couple of branches, and then we'll get it all set up. So I just snap off a branch like this. Start filling it out. I've got my leaves in the jar. I just fill it up with hot water. This is our 40-gallon tall. So right now it's holding a group of koi angels that are growing out. But it's also holding... Move, Angel. Our breeding colony of super reds. So there's one there. And in the cave is our male. We'll get a closer look here. And he is sitting on a bunch of fry. So we're going to get those pulled out of the cave and down into the fish room. here's all the super reds. Gee, that's the most I've ever got out of one. Alright, let's get them into the fry tray. And here they are. For the last part of our Pleco adventures today, I have 2 Plecos in our 20-gallon long that I need to get out. So with them in this tank, they've been digging around and making the water cloudy. So I'm going to pull them out and get them with the standard colony back in the fish room. Alright, we finally caught the 2 boogers. We're going to get them into the tank with the rest of the standards. I also saw a shrimp in the, there's 2 shrimp. And 0 Plecos coming out. There they are. Alright everybody, well that's it. Thanks for hanging out. As always, we really do appreciate you hanging out with us. And until next time, we'll see ya.